Long multiplication the short way. We're going to do two examples. First example, 23 times 47. Let's begin. 3 times 7 is 21. I write the 1 in the units column. The 2 is carried over to the tens column. 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. Now I move to the next column. I can cross out my carry over just for clarity. The first thing I have to do is put a placeholder because I'm done with the units. I've dealt with that 7 now. 3 times 4 is 12. Why does the 2 go into the tens column? Because I'm not actually multiplying 3 times 4. I'm multiplying 40 times 3, and that's 120. Therefore, there's the 2 in the tens column. That 100 has to be carried over. There we go. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Remember, I'm not really multiplying 2 times 4. I'm multiplying 20 times 40, and that gives me 800. But remember, when I multiplied 40 by 3, I had that 100, and that's why I add that 100 to give me 900. There's the 9 in the hundreds column. Units, tens, hundreds, and we can add the thousands column while we're busy. Now all I have to do is add these numbers. 1 plus 0 is 1, 6 plus 2 is 8, 9 plus 1 is 10, and the answer is 1080. Let me show you a problem with more digits, a bigger number, and then you will see the true benefit of this short method. So if we were to take 835 times 241, the first row is really easy. We just go 5 times 1 is 5, 3 times 1 is 3, and 8 times 1 is 8. The next row, so we've dealt with the 1, finished with it. Now we're going to work with the 40. We have to put our placeholder. 5 times 4 is 20. But remember, why do we carry over the 2 that we get? So the 0 goes there and the 20 goes there. Why? Because we're not actually saying 5 times 4. We're actually saying 5 times 40, and that equals 200. And now if you pay attention, 0 tens, and when we go to the next digit, so 3 times 4, which is in fact 30 times 40, and that is 1200, but we have that 200, that one, carrying over, so it's plus 200, and therefore it's 1400. So we say 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 2 is 14, the 4 goes there, the 1 goes there. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Now we're going to the next digit, that's the 200, and therefore we have to place 2 placeholders. Let's remove those numbers that we carried over because we're going to do the final column now, and that's going to be blue. So 5 times 2 is 10, the 0. The 1 is carried over to the next digit. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 8 times 2 is 16. And now the last step, I add my rows. That's 5, that's 3, that's 12. The 1 is carried over. That's 1, 1. That's 10. That's 1, 1. That becomes 2. And that is long multiplication the short way.